I just hit record, doing our little annoying pre-show recording talk to let everyone know that we're actually recording.
Yep.
Episode 46 of Stream the Machine starts now with some of the greatest clips, I think. The second one today is really long, but the first one today is really good. So hold on. Oops, I noticed that second one has weirdly edited. Anyways, okay, here we go. We're starting now. Annoying Talk over Stream the Machine, episode 46 is a go.
And this is a God institution. And it'd be surprised. Son, don't go to sleep while I'm talking. Hey, don't you lay your head back. I'm important. I'm somebody. Now, you might do your English teacher that way, but I'm not teaching English. I'm teaching eternal life here. I love you. You know I love you. Have I convinced you I love you? Yeah. You better nod your head. Yes. All right. Come on. Put it up there. All right. You stay awake and you listen to me. You say, well, he may never come back. Well, he ain't here now. And where have you been, Mr. Underwood? And I noticed on the calendar I'm supposed to marry y'all. What makes you think I'd marry you? You're one of the sorriest church members I have. You're not worth 15 cents. And you want me to marry you to her? And you want to marry him? And he don't even know where he belongs? And you don't even know where you belong? Now, let me tell y'all, everybody here, how much I love these kids. Do you know I love you, sir? Stand up, big boy. Do you know I love you? All right. All right. Give me a little love.
Get off! You're listening to a Fly Science Productions podcast. Welcome to Stream the Machine. Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Stream the Machine, episode 46. We are 1 month. Oh gosh, hold on, let me count it out. I want to be sure. Yep, we are 1 month exactly away from our 50th episode and our 1 year anniversary. The two big numbers lining up onto one. It's making me kind of nervous, actually, because I need to start doing a little more. I've got some things planned for it, but I need to start setting it up. I need to talk with Tony and Ross and make sure that we put on a good show. Get some ideas working. But I'm excited. So that church rant was hilarious. Dude basically loses it during his sermon.
Don't fall asleep on me.
He makes an appearance later in the show. He's got more things to say. Although, here's a little snippet now that we have.
Give me a little love.
Sounds a little like George W. Bush.
Give me a little love.
That's who I can keep thinking of. Now, you may have noticed after that I played some kind of crazy man yelling. I want you to tell me what you think that man is saying. Oh, have you already seen it?
I have.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll play it again for everybody else. So here we go.
Get off!
And if you had to guess, I'll give you a couple seconds at home to guess. Okay. In fact, if you're we're a 30-second delay. Well, if you hear it, text me what you think it is, and I will try and announce it on the show.
Get off!
I'm giving them enough time so they can send their text, because this is all delayed. I hate the way the live show works, so I can't just be like, text me now, and then it'll work. So I'm giving them a delay. We've been talking about it. All right, and we'll get back to it. So we'll go ahead and talk to the show, and or at least talk to the beginning here. Kind of a, I don't really see this as a negative way of starting off the show. Not with the clips we just played, but Leonard Nimoy passed away. I believe it was yesterday.
Yeah.
Very unfortunate for anyone who doesn't know who Leonard Nimoy was, which you probably do. He was Mr. Spock on the original Star Trek series. Not only was he just a good actor, but Star Trek was sort of a pioneer for sci-fi in general, bringing it into the mainstream and it becoming, which, it was something that was never super popular when it was actually on TV, but later on, you get, oh boy, I want to call him by his character name, Picard, but I am Patrick Stewart. There we go. You get guys like that, and then all of a sudden everyone's like, oh, The Next Generation, that's pretty good. And then they go back and they're like, oh, TOS. And so, it definitely was popular when it was out, but definitely was not like, what it is now with J.J. Abrams, having made, remakes and everything. And inspiration to a lot of people. And and from what I've read, just genuinely seems like a great guy. I was reading saw this article that got posted about how he was, basically going to any length that he could to get. That might be our first submission. Oh, here we go. So hold on, we'll read that here in a second. I read an article where he was like pushing hard to make sure that Nichelle Nichols, which was Uhura on the original series, got equal pay because I think Star Wars was airing during the 60s, and I guess it's still kind of an unfortunate truth of today, but women don't always get the same salaries men do for dumb reasons, of just gender reasons, but he was really pushing hard to get her to get the same pay that everyone else on the show did. She was the only major female role amongst a bunch of men on a sci-fi show, and Nimoy seemed like he was good people, and it's unfortunate because 83 is kind of old, but when you think about it too, it's kind of young. I mean, there's a lot of people that live past 83. There's
a lot of living left.
Yeah, so it's unfortunate. It definitely isn't to say that he didn't have a fruitful life, because he's been around for a long time, and definitely, being able to be in the Star Wars reboot, and I'm sure he's fulfilled a lot of dreams of his own, as well as
Star Trek.
Did I say Star Wars?
You just said Star
I've ruined
Wars,
this entire eulogy. I've destroyed it. It is done. You know what? Oh, wait, I don't even have my soundboard up. That's the only thing I have to say about that, which is unfortunate. So we've already got one submission, I think, here about what we think.
What do I think it is?
Well, it's my sister, and she's thinking maybe it's from a video game. Thinking of a dude that yelled the guy's name, but she can't remember. The only thing I can think of when she says that is when they yell Snake in Metal Gear Solid, but that doesn't sound like Snake in Metal Gear Solid, so I can't think of what else. So we're going to keep going. It is not from a video game. That is from a real person saying something. We'll play it again for everybody. Here we go. And I had to crop it a little bit. I've cut the majority of what he's saying. The only thing before it is him going and getting a breath. So it's really not that exciting. If it sounds truncated or weird, it's because he just screamed it really weirdly.
If you're at the top of his lungs.
If you're thinking it's this, I can tell you it's not this.
Get out of that refrigerator right now! Get out!
They have some similarities, but that's not it. So we've been playing a game called DC Universe Online recently. That is a MMORPG, or just a big online game for the layman, for you non-nerds out there. And DC is referring to, obviously, the comic company mainly opposite of Marvel. Oh wait, is this another submission? Here we go. The Snow Guy. I don't know if that's in reference to the video game, or it's not the Snow Guy. It is not the Snow Guy. Well, we will continue to go.
Snow Guy.
Oh my gosh, hold on, here we go again. No, it's not the guy that freaks out about the snow in his yard. But that reminds me, did you see the dude that was shoveling the snow and it, was falling as he was doing it? And
I did.
And then they showed him, playing hockey. Oh my god, I died. Everyone, go to YouTube, type in Guy Falls for 9 seconds, and it'll come up with the snow one, and I think they've got a hockey one, and they've got some other ones. It's literally one of the funniest things ever. It's why the internet is great. Anyways, on task. We're playing DC Universe, which is fun. I'm going to set my phone to vibrate here. We got to make our own characters. We're playing around as superheroes, fighting some dudes. It's Tony and Keith and myself.
We all kind of look like villains, though, even though we're good guys. Keith did bring up a good point.
Yeah, so I picked... I have the power of Rage, which is the Red Lantern Corps, which generally I think is perceived as evil people. I don't know why it's available as a hero, but it is. Tony's guy looks pretty crazy. I'm trying to remember what he looks like. I haven't seen yours or Keith's main character in a day or two, so I am kind of forgetting what they look like. But yeah, we all kind of have our own distinct evility about us, even though we're all truly superheroes. Just instead of being bad guys, I guess.
Your guys' stance, if you change your costume up, you could look like a good guy. But I mean, my guy's just like hunched over like an animal, like a werewolf.
Tony is very...
It's kind of hard to make him look like a nice person when he just looks angry all the time.
It's fun, though. I've been enjoying myself. I've been enjoying finally sitting down and playing a game with Tony and with Keith, who, if anyone remembers, was actually on our first episode of Stream the Machine. Helped us get the show rolling. He's the guy that does our theme that you hear every week.
Yeah.
So that was exciting. A little reunion there. Also, we don't have to go into much detail about this because I expected there to be more about this, but there hasn't been. I picked up Dragon Ball Xenoverse, which is an amazing game. It's basically, I've talked about Dragon Ball Z a lot, and it's a sort of an MMO in that universe. Unfortunately, it's having online issues right now, which is par for any game that comes out on that's going to be mainly online. You're going to have server issues, and you're going to have trouble. I mean, even the best of the best, Blizzard, when they're dropping, the new Warcraft or the new Diablo 3, hell, in 2012, people freaked about that because Diablo 3 was out for like a week, and it was, they're just bound to happen. So we're hoping that the server issues fix soon, and maybe next week I'll have more to say about Dragon Ball Xenoverse. But so originally my plan was to this weekend. So earlier this week I got the Alien Anthology Blu-ray set because it was cheap. It was normally like $80, $90, but I found it for $30, and it's all 4 films on Blu-ray. And I was like, damn, that is a deal. I'm getting it because I passed it up a year or two ago because I couldn't afford it. It went on sale, but I just couldn't swing the extra $30 at the time. And by the time I could, the sale was over. So I was like, well, I'm going to watch these. And then there's a game that came out last year called Alien Isolation that is actually a continuance of what I thought was the whole series. It's actually just a continuance of the first movie. So I watched the first movie last night, and I tried playing some of the game. And it's a horror game, just like the first movie was. I don't know if I can handle it. It is too... So I streamed a little bit of it last night. I basically sat down in the dark, put the camera on, and then just kind of tried to play. And you could barely see my face because it was only lit by the light of my monitors. And the game's kind of dark to begin with, so there's really not a lot of light. And I didn't really encounter much besides noises and a dark spaceship, and I was terrified. I found some people at one point, and they shot me dead about when I was done playing. I was like, all right, well, I'm going to try and sneak into this area just, because I'm done and I can't handle this. And I walked in there and they killed me. So now that's like looming over me for when I next go to play it, is that I now have people I have to deal with. But it's very scary. It's very atmospheric. It's very authentic feeling. I mean, it looks like the game's in the 70s, or the late 70s, which is when the first movie was, and it's incredible. The music sounds like it's straight from the film. It's really an incredible piece of work, and you basically play as Sigourney Weaver's character, Ripley's daughter, who comes to look for her after they find the emergency voice logs that Sigourney Weaver leaves at the end of the first film.
See, I've never seen any of the Alien films.
The first one's very good. I will have to watch the second one again. I did not like the second one the last time I saw it. So Ridley Scott directs the first one. Okay, it's kind of his child here, right? He creates the Alien series. The second one comes around, and Ridley Scott doesn't. I don't know if he's on as a producer or anything like that, but James Cameron takes over as directing. So he makes it into an action film. It is no longer a survival horror sneaking around a ship with an alien. It is a bunch of dudes coming in with Gatling guns, shooting down this alien in space. Huge change in pace, definitely. But the first two are both critically acclaimed. Alien and Aliens both have some of the highest reviews of all time. Come into the third one, and everything gets really bad from that point out, from what I've been told, from what I've read. I don't remember what the order is, but between Alien 3 and Alien 4, one of them is directed by Joss Whedon, everyone's favorite, who can do no wrong, right? And David Fincher. two very good directors in today's modern time flopped horribly on Alien 3 and Alien 4. But I am going to watch this. I've actually been told that if you try to watch them as separate films and try not to connect them to the first two because of how great they are, then it's actually more enjoyable if you try not to expect as much from them. Which I would say, I watched The Green Lantern the other day and I thought that would be horrible. And I actually thought it was all right. It wasn't awful, even though it reviewed terribly. Yeah. It's definitely not a great movie.
No.
But it was entertaining. It probably was only entertaining because we've been playing DC Universe. Had I watched it at any other point in time...
And my character has a Green Lantern ring. Pretty much has those powers.
Yeah, I mean, it was neat to see how the powers are supposed to work. But so that is where I'm at on Alien. I don't know if I'm going to continue with the game. I want to, because it's part of the universe now. You know, I like playing games that continue from movies and stuff. And but I don't know, man. Either I'm going to have to play it like right now when it's bright and sunny out, or try to man up and play it again at night. I've also considered maybe getting some ciders or a big glass of wine, and then starting out without drinking. And then playing the game, and then just every, maybe 10 minutes, take a sip of something, and just gradually see if I can ease the anxiety through alcohol, and then play, and hopefully get
every
more.
time there's a jump scare, or you get freaked out.
There you go, drinking game. So yeah, just sit down.
Two games.
Every time. Dang. That's a great idea. And so, and the idea wouldn't necessarily be to get entirely hammered, but, I can't handle it. I can't handle the game. It's so scary that I need something to take the edge off me. You always get that guy. You always get that guy in those movies, right? The survival horror. The guy's freaking out, and all of a sudden he's like, "I just need something, man. Just give me a little something. I need to take the edge off me." And it's like, yeah, that's what I need. Is I need a little shot of vodka or something, a little something to just kind of ease the nerves, and then play this game.
Did you ever play Dead Space?
I did, and I love Dead Space. I think as I was streaming last night, I was kind of talking to myself. I was kind of like trying to, pump myself up and be like, I was like, if I die, I'm not dying in real life. I'm just dying in the game. Who cares? This thing's not real. Like, I'm trying to talk myself down, right? While an alien's freaking crawling through the vents looking for me. And I was talking to myself, and I'm like, well, how can I play Dead Space, but I can't play this? Well, in Dead Space, you have a gun. In this game, you can't kill the alien. You can never kill the alien. It is the same alien that hunts you from the beginning of the game to the end, and you can't kill him. And so...
that's neat.
Yes, it's definitely interesting, and from what I've read, they've also altered the AI, so there's literally no predetermined paths. No matter which way you go, the alien will only react to what he or she, I guess, hears from you. So as you play... you can play the game 7 different times, and you're going to walk through maybe the same areas, or maybe take a different route this time, try another door instead of this one over here. The alien will react differently every time you play. On PS4 and Xbox One, they actually have these features, and I'm never going to use them if I ever had it for PlayStation, but you can use the camera, and it will give you motion detecting, sound through your headset. So let's say there's a sound coming in front of me, right? And I have the camera on the PlayStation, and I've got my headphones on. Well, of course I'm going to hear it coming from the front. But if the camera sees me turn my head, it will turn the sound to coming out of my left ear.
That's neat.
Right, okay. So I've read that actually works very well, and it's very cool. They also have noise detection, which if you're sitting and playing the game with your controller, and you're hiding in a vent, and you go... the alien will hear you and come and kill you. That one is not for me. I won't be doing that one. But that sounds hilarious, doesn't it? You got to sit on a couch. Here's another game you can play. You sit on the couch, you have one guy playing it, and you have everyone sit as quietly as they can. And the first time someone's phone goes off, you got to be sprinting your balls that way because that alien's coming to kill you. So yeah, it seems like it has a lot of potential, but holy crap, is it scaring the pants off me. So I don't really know what to do about it. But yeah, one thing I'll mention before we get on with some of our important... we have 2 really great news topics today. is I actually might have an opportunity to record with a guy at work.
Nice.
He mentioned to me yesterday, he came up and he goes, "Hey, I heard you're in a band." And I was like, "Well, no, not really. I'd done some recording before, but yeah, I've done some work, yes." And he says, "Well, I'm looking to get some vocal work." He does mostly like electronic and like dubstep and kind of some sampling stuff. And he's like, "I'm looking for some vocal work. Would you be interested?" And I was like, "Hell yeah," because that means I don't really have to do anything but sing. And the thing I can't do now is get all the equipment and everything ready. So, he didn't really go into detail, and I was talking to him later, and I was like, "Yeah, just talk to me more when you get more information." And he didn't really say anything, so. But I'm excited.
The first time me and you actually had like a legit conversation at work was the day you posted that flyer looking for
really
musicians.
Huh?
Yeah, because I came up and talked to you, and you're like surprised that someone actually played music, and like.
Yeah,
you just seem like super taken back that I actually like played drums.
Well, I'm always taken aback when anyone talks about music anywhere, just because. I don't know. Aside from you and my old buddy Tyler, I've never played with anybody else. And my nephew, I guess, who used to play bass. So anytime I actually meet anyone who's like, "Yeah, you interested?" I'm like, "Heck yeah, I am." So. We will see how that goes. I will update as we go along. Because I'm really excited. I would love to just go somewhere, lay down some vocals, and leave, and let that guy do everything. And I wouldn't hardly take any credit for it, because obviously he's going to modulate and do all this weird stuff, put filters, and all I did was just provide some vocals. So, it's definitely not like, oh, that's going to be Adenium's new song. But at the same time, it's like, here you go, guys. You can listen to this little thing that mostly this guy did, and I just did some vocals for it. Maybe it'll open doors for me to get back into where I want to go. All right. Well, we have some news today. Some alien related, some internet related. We're going to make the internet one pretty short. There's really nothing to discuss on this. We've already discussed it 1,000 times, so we'll see how this goes. 404 error. Page not found. Okay. So here we go.
Oh,
wait.
Oh.
Never mind. So this guy apparently... Here's the snow guy. I'm afraid to play it, though, because my sister says it's very sweary. I imagine it probably has F-bombs. If it didn't have F-bombs, I would probably play it. But if it does have F-bombs, I can't play it. Jen, if you can confirm that it doesn't have F-bombs, I will play it on the show. And if it's like a minute or less. Anyways... So news today, big stuff. We've talked about net neutrality a lot lately. And and
every time we do, we just kind of rant for about half an hour.
Well, now we don't have to rant. We don't have to rant anymore, at least according to what this says. So this article, part of it was written before the decision, part of it was written after. So I'm going to read the before part that talks about what was being agreed upon, and then we will talk about the after. So it says the FCC will be ruling on whether or not broadband internet access will be classified as a telecommunications service under Title II. We talked about this, whether internet was going to be classified as a utility. This means that the ruling will decide whether or not the FCC will classify broadband as an internet utility, and which would give the commission greater regulatory power over ISPs. ISPs are people like Verizon and everyone that's price gouging you, making you pay for internet that's really not that great. Regulating ISPs is seen by the FCC as necessary to protect what is referred to as the open internet. The first three bright line rules laid out by the FCC to protect the open internet, as explained in the FCC fact sheet, prohibit blocking, throttling, and paid prioritization. So blocking means just what it says. You decide that you want to go to Facebook today, but Verizon thinks that Facebook isn't paying them enough money, so they block it. Throttling is same kind of idea, but instead of blocking it completely, you just slow it down. You just say, we don't like you going to Facebook or Netflix or whatever, so we're going to slow it the hell down. These are things that
even on mobile, if you have a data like unlimited internet, but past 2 gigs, that throttle your data. It's slow as hell. Yeah,
it happens to a lot of people. Especially, I know T-Mobile's got it, unlimited data, but after you use like a gigabyte of 4G, you're down to 2G or something. And paid prioritization, which we've kind of already mentioned, basically saying if you want your users, if you want your Netflix people to have your service at what it should be, you now have to pay us an extra $20. You know, that kind of crap, which is dumb. It's what ISPs were trying to do. FCC was trying to stop it.
They did do that to Netflix.
Verizon had already done it. Netflix had slowed their speeds, and Netflix actually ended up paying out more. And we talked on the show, we said we didn't think the prices increased, but I got corrected later that week at work by a fellow I work with. People who are already locked into Netflix will not see a price change until 2016. People who aren't locked in Netflix actually saw a price increase of about $1 or $2.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So while we hadn't, or at least I hadn't seen a particular increase in price, it was because I was already locked into Netflix, so of course I didn't see an increase. But they did actually have to increase their subscription rate because they had to pay a large lump sum to Verizon just so users could see their crap. Anyways, it goes in here to explain basically what we just explained, and that was all before. As an update, the FCC has passed the net neutrality rules to treat the internet provided as common carriers under the blah, blah, blah. As a result, this will allow the commission to prohibit providers from granting faster internet service for higher prices. So everything that we have talked about for the last however many months is now a thing. It's done. The FCC has crushed ISPs. We are now in a position. Now, there's a lot of people. Right. So there's a lot of people online saying, y'all a bunch of morons. You just gave the government complete control of our internet. And the thing is, well, sure, we allowed them to now have regulatory rules over it. But the thing is that the things that they're preventing are much greater at the moment than what possible negatives could come from it. The rules specifically state in the documents that they propose that they are not, it's to keep the open internet. They're not regulating content. Nothing in their document says that they can regulate content. Mm-hmm. And that is a big thing everyone's concerned of. So now the government runs it. Now you can only go to pro-government sites. And that's not true. And it blows my mind that people would be willing to defend ISPs over what they think the government's going to do. Yes, the government sucks, and it's shady, and everyone hates taxes, but they're not going to ruin it here. I think everything's going to be fine. I could be eating those words in a couple of years. Who knows? But until then, consider it a boon that we now don't have to deal with what the ISPs are about to make us go through. We'll see what comes from that in the future. But that's it. We're finally there. It's a victory for everyone for net neutrality and everything else. Yes, they're very much. It is a very big deal, and we're glad that it's finally over. In related news, not to the FCC, but to earlier topics, Neil Blomkamp is to direct the next Alien film. You might be asking yourself, who is Neil Blomkamp? He did District 9, and he did, I believe, Elysium.
And he's doing Chappie.
And Chappie, yes. If you haven't seen trailers for Chappie, go see it. Go see the trailers. Movie looks like it's going to be great.
Yeah. Like, some of the commercials make it look like it's like a cute robot upbringing movie, and the other one looks like it's like a police like a giant action movie with robots. Right.
It seems like it's going to be. It seems like it's going to be a very good. What's the word? Sort of like an insightful. I mean, because the trailers, show the AI, like the creature, the android, the whatever, the robot. And show it the kind of interacting with humans and what it means to be human, and why they want to take this and crush it. And it looks like it's gonna be great. Everything Blomkamp's done so far has always been pretty introspective and analytical of society on some kind of a level. So it will be fun to see where that goes. But it is doubly interesting to see what he is going to do with Alien. He had released mock-ups and hold on a second. This stupid video is starting. Basically concept art of what he wanted to do for Alien before, but it was never official. He just released drawings of saying, here's the suit I had been looking at for Sigourney Weaver, and here's that new Alien thing, and it's not official, but I'm just kind of doing stuff. Well, now it's official, and now he's really going to be doing stuff. says the District 9 and Elysium director Neil Blomkamp set the internet ablaze with the news that he will direct the next Alien the next movie in the Alien franchise. The image below is part of the concept art posted by Blomkamp on social media in January, which you can search that up. It's on Instagram. It's very cool stuff. The Wrap reports that Blomkamp has signed on to direct the next movie set in the Alien universe that will not be Prometheus 2. The events of the movie, the site claims, take place after Prometheus 2, and that Ridley Scott is producing both films. Of course they take place after Prometheus. Prometheus takes place thousands of years before it all.
Yeah.
Blomkamp, whose next sci-fi movie, Chappie, opens in March, has previously said in interviews that his take on any potential Alien 5 would involve Sigourney Weaver's Ripley. He's also said in another interview since that he is not looking at Alien 3 or Alien 4 at all. He is considering them to not have existed. Apparently that is how bad Alien 3 and Alien 4 are, that they're willing to write them off completely as films. But this is exciting, especially for him. He seems to have a great eye for science fiction and going up on stuff like Alien. Especially with Sigourney Weaver, man. She is awesome. She's really great. She was really hot in her younger days. She's pretty much a babe now as an older woman.
There you go.
Sigourney Weaver's great. So that's exciting. That is all great news.
I might try to find Alien somewhere today and try to give it a try, give it a shot.
The first one's pretty good. Like I said, the second one I wasn't as into, but I think it reviewed maybe a couple % higher than the first one. I actually might watch the second Aliens today and try to get a good vibe for it, since I'm already kind of on that train. Because it's much more action based, and I wasn't that excited. But I don't know. It's very good though. Very very. I mean, shit. It was it's such a huge deal for Sigourney Weaver back in, I think it was 1979, or at least close to it. How many other female lead sci-fi stars can you think of from the 70s? You know what I mean? That wasn't a thing. It was sci-fi was a man's world. And then you get Sigourney Weaver, who, after Alien, comes in and crunches with so many other films of, her being in these sci-fi roles that, she was a pioneer for women in a genre that didn't really exist for women prior to that,
Have you seen the movie The Thing?
I have. That is actually probably my second favorite movie of all time.
I love that movie.
Very good. That is also another one that had a game that continued the story. And
there's a game for that?
It was a PS2 game, and it takes place after, like at the very end of the first one, when you kind of, I guess I won't spoil anything for anyone who hasn't seen it over the last 30 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, you show up and you're looking for the guys, and it reviewed well, but it's pretty trippy. You walk around with a group of other players, their AI, and the entire time you have to monitor their fear levels, because they're paranoid about everything, and so you have to, make sure that you do actual blood tests on yourself and other members to show them that none of you's the thing. And you have to give them ammo to keep them happy, and I couldn't do it because I was too busy giving them ammo and giving them the health packs, and I never had any ammo, and they sucked at shooting, and I couldn't shoot the little guys walking around. And it was very good though, just very 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 difficult as far as survival horror goes. But PS2 was like the OG era for all that kind of stuff. But it's very good. I love The Thing. It's very good. One of my favorite films of all time. We have some news here. Oh, I just clicked out of something. We have some news here, some stuff that I was going to play on the show last week, but then didn't because I'm dumb. So I skipped over it completely. After the show, I was like, damn, we didn't do any other news, but we are going to do it this week, so here we go.
This just in other news.
Alrighty. Jen is telling me to play the song for the first 29 seconds. Or not the song, but the snowman. So we're gonna do this. Well, let's see if this is worth it.
All covered up when I got out here this morning.
It's still my property!
Well, this is snow, and if you think you're going to keep snow
You
off
don't
of all your
put
property...
your snow on my property!
This is not my snow.
Yes,
this
it
is
is.
not your snow.
This is my property!
This is the snow.
It doesn't matter!
Oh,
this is
calm
my
down.
property!
Why are you being
don't
such an
blow
asshole?
your snow on my property! You don't put any snow that was where you were on my property!
Okay, Gary. You've scared me now.
All right, that's where I'm going to stop it because more words come in. Does that sound like this, ladies and gentlemen? Close, but no cigar.
But not quite.
No, that's good. I want to watch more of that. There's a whole 3 minutes more.
What do you think? Do you know what the guy says?
Oh yeah, I do know because I think the name of the vine was what he said.
Yeah.
But would I have guessed that that's what he said? No, not at all. I would not have guessed. Which is why, if you can guess, great. Let me respond to this. We're going to get on with news in a second. Someone asked me a very important question.
Yeah. So, I have a Vine account, and it's pretty much the last thing I do before I go to bed. Just kind of flip through them all.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, there's some funny ones, and then there's some just, like, corny ones. I follow a couple of musical people who pick, like... There's this guy, his Vine account is called Trench, and he just sets his little camera up right on his guitar, and he'll just do, like, acoustic loops of songs.
Nice.
It's pretty cool.
I've seen some...
Like, it's incredible, because he, like, finger picks everything.
Oh, wow. That's really impressive.
And it's awesome.
I've never Vined anything, I don't think. I did have the app at one point, so I kind of cycle through stuff, but... I don't know. I don't really sit down and watch like YouTube or Vines or anything like that. Usually, the only time I actually do watch them is when someone sends them to me in our group chat from work and says, "Here, look at this," and like that one, he specifically sent it to me and said, "Here, cap this for the show," and so I did. All right. Well, we have news to talk about, and. Okay, that conversation is done. Sorry. Apparently you can get PS4 for pretty cheap if you turn in your Xbox 360 that has a 250 gigabyte hard drive. So, and my friend's infinite wisdom decided to wait till the last day to do it and was like, "Hey, do you still have that 360? Because I'm not using it. It's sitting over here. It's probably worth $50." And to him, he could trade it in for $150. So I figured, why not? All right, Maryland man. So these are just a tad old. They're about a week old, but they're still good. Maryland man plows snow with motorized toilet. So I'm going to send you this link just so you can see what this guy is sitting on, because it's ridiculous. It's a little ridiculous. Oops. There we go. Send. A Maryland man is clearing snow from Bethesda sidewalks with a snowplow attached to an unusual vehicle, a motorized toilet. David Goldberg, owner of the Union Hardware store, said that he created the motorized commode, dubbed Lucille, or Lucy. Funny. What terrible puns. For last summer's...
Not even a good plow.
Huh?
It's not even a good plow.
Yeah, well, crazy police going on outside. I don't understand the practicality of this, really. This is Lucy, our motorized toilet that we did for the summer for the Pride Parade. What is a Pride Parade? Is it just Pride? It's not gay pride or straight pride or whatever pride. It's just a Pride Parade.
It's just whatever you're proud of.
I guess. We just added a snowplow, and we're ready for the tomorrow morning's snow. Goldberg posted a video of the motorized toilet moving snow to YouTube. Taking something very private and making it a spectacle is a jolt to the system by itself. But having it plow snow over the top, he wrote in the video description. Goldberg said the toilet has a hybrid engine. I have not had to start the engine yet, but it is there after a long day if needed, Goldberg wrote on YouTube. I do have dual exhaust mounted for show. It is all about the looks and the fun. I don't know. Does it drop? So is the toilet functional? Can you do your business? And if it can, where does it go? Does it shoot out with the snow? That's because I would do it. I would buy it then if I could sit on that snow and drive it, or sit on the toilet and drive it, knowing that the next time I took a dump, that it would go flying out with the snow. Sure, heck yeah, I'd do it.
I mean, it's not a snow blower.
Oh, that's true. It's just a plow.
So it's just pushing it. And it doesn't even do a very good job of it.
No. Well,
like it just skims the top.
I have no desire then to poop on that thing. If I can't shoot my poop and snow out at people, I'm not doing it. Alrighty, next thing here. Oops. Australian driver arrested for playing the trumpet behind the wheel. Ridiculous, of course. An Australian motorist was fined $276 only for tooting his horn, of course, that is playing his trumpet behind the wheel. Police Senior Constable Adam West, Batman, said highway patrol officers pulled up next to the black Toyota sedan on the Westgate Bridge in Melbourne after receiving reports about the car driving erratically. The officers looked at the car and were shocked to see the 27-year-old man was playing a trumpet while driving. The Porter Lington man was fined at $276 for careless driving. Police did not say, what song the man was playing. Oh. Playing a trumpet behind the wheel. How do you even manage that? That's impressive.
All I can picture
if he didn't crash anybody.
Just rear-ending someone and just missing all your teeth. Like, hit it on the windshield or on the steering wheel.
Oh my gosh. Boom. That sounds awful.
No more teeth.
That sounds terrible. I don't even want to think about that. Getting my teeth knocked out? Christ.
By a trumpet. Ugh. No, thank you.
Well, don't play your instrument. Either instrument. It's not a euphemism, but if it was a euphemism, don't play your instrument behind the wheel. Wait till you get home. Do it in the closed quarters of your music studio. Wheel of Fortune contestant guesses one letter and solves the entire puzzle. So I think this has a video. I'm going to play it and we'll see if it's any good. A Wheel of Fortune contestant got stunned reactions from the crowd, as well as host Pat Sajak when he solved the puzzle after guessing only a single letter. Rufus, a contestant on Tuesday nights, this would have been last Tuesdays, broadcast in Hawaii, requested a letter T for a 17-letter puzzle that was labeled as an event. With only a single T, wow. Rufus guessed championship match. Shocking. The audience and host Pat Sajak was his correct answer. Somebody put something in the Loco Moco Sajak joke. What is Loco Moco?
I don't know.
Let's find out. Loco, hold on. Loco Moco? Is it Loco Moco? Did I read it wrong? Nope, it's the Loco Moco. What is this? So hold on. Loco, I spelled it wrong. Loco Moco Wheel of Fortune. Loco Moco sauce.
It looks like a meal with eggs and bacon and hamburger.
I don't know.
Brown gravy and white rice.
All of these. I don't get it. I'm not even going to try. Yeah, it does look like... I don't care. I can't figure it out. It's food, but that doesn't make sense. Let's play this clip here.
Is the category for this round. And I'm going to give the wheel final spin. Ask you to give me a letter. Pugs up 3 seconds to solve it. Vowels worth nothing. Consonants will add 1,000.
All right, so it's landing on the thing here.
Apiece. Again, the category is event. And
here we go.
We start with you. A letter, please. T. 1 T.
Championship match.
Yeah, that's right.
That's incredible. The contestants next to him just jumped out of their chairs there. It was incredible.
See, I was confused because when he first said it, I was like, if he knew it, why didn't he just keep going?
Oh, right.
Like, off just one letter. But the fact that it was the final spin made sense because, I mean...
Yeah.
That's all he could do.
That's really funny and great. Well, kudos and good work to that guy. It's time for some Would You Rathers, which we don't have a soundbite for, but we have this. And now, thanks to all of our sort of barf noise sound clips, I now have them all sit next to each other, and so I now can do this and play them back to back.
I like it.
Does Barry Manilow know that you raid his wardrobe?
No, he doesn't. All right, so let's do some Would You Rathers here. Okay, so actually, hold on. I've got a couple messages here. I think people might be guessing maybe what our stuff is. Let's see. So it is not the Leroy Jenkins clip, but that was a good guess. Let's see here. Oh, wait. So let me see this. I have a clip, or I have an article here that I think I was sent. Oh my gosh. Okay, so hold on. I gotta send you this to Tony. This is inappropriate, I think, for me to show on the on the podcast, but I have to send this to you. It's really funny, and it has to do with Wheel of Fortune.
Is this the South Park thing?
No.
Okay.
Let's see. Okay, so yes, it's if you're at home, Google Wheel of Fortune, luck be in the air tonight. And oh God,
that's fake.
You think it's fake?
Because air should be an I.
Hold on,
and there isn't one.
What do you mean there isn't one? Hold on. It looks like it actually says 10 viral photos that are not real. It's still funny.
Yeah.
What are you getting on? Oh, you're right. You're right, because the I is already in there.
Yeah.
It's still good, though. It is still good. I like that one. All right. Would you rather? Let's go ahead and keep on our morbid sense of death and everything like that we've been doing recently, right?
Of course.
Because what good is a would you rather if one of the options doesn't include horribly dying? Would you rather stop the... Okay, so here we go. Would you rather? And then that's the end of the thing. Stop the end of the world. Okay? So preserve what is now going on. Or start the world all over, knowing that it's going to be a little better this time. But starting over completely, which means like Stone Age.
Ooh.
Prevent the end of the world, so prevent the revelation, the apocalypse, the whatever, and things keep going as they are now. Or how, whenever the end of the world comes, if it's with future planes and, cars that can fly, whatever. Prevent the end of the world, or start it all over from scratch, knowing that it's going to be better. And I'm also going to say that you don't know when you're going to be born.
I think I would probably... That's a tough one.
We would have to give up the podcast in one of these, and I don't like that.
Stop the end of the world.
Keep going the way we're going?
Yeah.
Starting the world over would be pretty crazy. We may not even have a show in the next life.
I don't know.
Because who knows, we could be 1,000 years apart from each other. Wonder if we'd remember anything. Anyways, that's another question. Stop the end of the world or start the world all over. I guess I'll go... I'm going to say I would start the world all over. I'm going to change my thought on the last end. Just because... I don't know. I like new things. I'm excited about new things. And the idea of starting over completely, whether it's me fighting saber-toothed tigers in the Ice Age, or I don't know. There's 1,000 things that could be redone. I guess I would just start it over. Although I'd never even know after.
Doesn't mean that everything is going to be better. It just means that in general,
sure,
it could be just slightly better. Like one murder doesn't happen.
We could have one extra listener on our podcast. That is it.
Ooh, there we go.
And if that's what it takes, I will start the world over. So okay,
just hit the reset button.
Let's go ahead and... What? No, don't tell me this.
What?
Okay, here we go. It popped up and it was wanting me to log into Facebook in order to vote. And I thought for sure that it was going to make me have to do Facebook. But see, getting the vote and the percentages is half of why we do this. So we can see what other people say. 76,000 people voted. 54%. It's actually pretty well down the middle. 54% said the end of the world. They would rather stop the end of the world. 46% said that they would rather start all over. Okay, here's another one. Pretty morbid, and we'll do one more after this. Would you rather... I want to laugh at this because somehow we always end up with questions exactly like this one. Would you rather die peacefully tomorrow Or you get another
this.
week to live, another 7 days, but die very painfully. I feel incredibly evil. But these are hilarious.
Die peacefully tomorrow.
Die peacefully tomorrow. Or get another week to live, but die painfully. I think I would do the same. It is incredible how much pain is a motivator. Because you think to yourself, once you're done, you're done, you know? So you die painfully. Maybe you die painfully over the process of an hour or something, and then you're done. So the pain isn't going to matter. But the idea of sitting there and suffocating or drowning or burning alive or whatever is so hardcore to us that dying peacefully tomorrow, losing 6 days, but hey, we can go in peace, sounds much more appealing.
Well, another thing is, it's not necessarily the pain, but like in 24 hours, maybe I will just kind of trick myself into not freaking out.
Yeah,
that I'm going to die.
It's
like I can see everybody, and then by the time I see everyone, it'll be time for me to die. Whereas, like if I get a week, like I'll say my goodbyes, and I'll be like, well, what's the point of going to work? What's the point of going to school? What's the point of playing video games? I'm just going to die.
I should have picked that other option. Is what we'll be thinking. Holy crap! Wow. Okay, so this is one of the more singular ones we've ever done. 71,000 votes. 82% said that they would rather die peacefully tomorrow. 18% said they would rather get another week to live. Crazy. It was really crazy. All right, here we go. We'll pick one more. Okay, here we'll pick a really dumb one because it's fun and it's lighthearted, and why not?
Let's do it.
Would you rather have an unlimited supply of ice cream or an unlimited supply of chocolate? At any time that you wanted, would you rather be able to call upon ice cream?
Ice cream.
Or call upon chocolate? Really? No hesitation there. You really had that one in the chamber. You thought about this before. Now, notice one of the options was not... Get up! Anyone know? Does anyone have any idea what he's saying? I don't have any prizes to give to anybody. Unfortunately, I can't be like, you get a T-shirt if you... That's what we need is T-shirts. Alrighty, well, I would be interested in chocolate more, but I feel like chocolate would be worse on my teeth than ice cream would be.
I feel like both of them were pretty bad.
But see, ice cream has milk in it, right?
Yeah.
Teeth makes your teeth stronger. Milk makes your teeth stronger, doesn't it? I guess chocolate kind of has some milk chocolate.
The thing that makes your teeth, it's sugars and stuff.
Right.
That sit on your teeth is what makes it bad. So I mean, by that logic, like if you just want to use that logic, the sugar cancels out the milk cancels out the sugar.
Let's see. That's true. So I typed in ice cream versus chocolate teeth, but I'm not seeing any articles that compare the benefits of chocolate versus ice cream. I'm gonna go with ice cream as well, just because. Oh boy, that chocolate looks really good. I actually haven't been eating any candy either since I've tried to change my diet. No candy, which sucks, but what are you gonna do? All right. Here's another kind of divisive one. Would you... Oh, wait. I was about to read the question again. Would you rather have ice cream? 63,000 votes. 55% said that they would rather have ice cream. 45% said that they would rather have chocolate.
45% of those people are crazy.
Apparently. Well, those are good. I'm glad we could end on a good note instead of talking about... death all the time, which seems to be... fairly common. We have a song we're going to play. It's good. I like it. And then we come back and we're going to have some stuff from Ross, what looks like a pretty deep subject. Well, very deep at certain parts, it looks like.
Yeah.
Excited to get into it. We actually had this one we were going to do a couple weeks ago, but then we had to take a day off for the show or something, and we decided to wait. And now we're going to do it. But first, we're going to kill Jazz. Jazz killed. I had a clip I was going to play, but I really can't think of anything. We'll go with Allen Iverson.
We talking about practice.
This song is called Tonight, A Lonely Century. It is by the new Mystikal Troubadours from an album called Jungle Love Revisited. I was trying to pick some different things. So last week I played a song from a Christian metal band. It was amazing. I loved it. And then I found out that this next Friday, that same Christian metal band is going to a venue about 2 hours away. I am really tempted to go see them because I discovered their music and I loved it. Loved it enough to illegally play it on our show because I'm sure it is copywritten. But I figured if I could at least try to give them some PR. If you're listening in, I pimped your band, guys. Don't sue me. I love the music. So I don't know. I'm contemplating going next week. I don't know if I will, but
do it.
We would still definitely have a show on Saturday, but it also would mean I'd be getting back super late Friday night. But I don't know. We'll figure it out. The new Mystikal Troubadours with Tonight, A Lonely Century. When we come back, we have Karmified, Ross, and a few other things before we call our show quits. We will see you on the other side.
Face away, found your life, and when it's
Now, y'all don't want me. All you got to do is tell me. We won't have a church fight because I'll get in my little Connie and we'll get in her little Buick Enclave. It's paid for, and we'll sell what we need to sell, and we'll go on down the road, and we'll find some little podunk church that don't know up from down, and I'll find me a dozen Joe's Baskets who don't have a pot or a window and who will shout Jesus, and I'll give the rest of my life to them. But I'm not interested in recreating the prostitute of the church. Amen. You remember when I came here, Kelly? You remember where your wife was, where your sisters were? Do you remember where they were? And we made holy war. Do you remember that? Stay with me. Don't quit me. Are y'all keeping the camera on me back there in the little video room? Good. We're having trouble in the video room. There's no one finer than young Cox back there. And he comes down here and spends hours in that thing. But he has a little attitude adjustment that we're going to fix. Brother Cox, you listening? Because, Brother Cox, I can fix your attitude adjustment. Now, I don't care what your mama thinks and your daddy thinks. And I don't have a better friend than your mama. But, Mama, you get out of my way when I'm messing with that boy, because I'm his preacher. I'm yours when I'm talking to you. But I'm his when I'm talking to him. And last I checked, he's a grown man. And that video room ain't going to be a youth hangout. We might as well just fix this thing. If you loved me and you submitted to me, you'd know what my heart is and my message is, and you wouldn't go about establishing your own kingdom in the video room. Really feel good now.
When I felt them, they were perfect.
A piece of that tip just got me.
You are listening to a Fly Science Productions podcast.
Yeah, that second clip was a little long, but it was way too good to hear him yell at that kid in the video room. You also missed...
It's not going to be a youth hangout.
You also missed the Tom Brady Balls supercut, where he talks about the deflate gate, and so we got this one.
When I felt them, they were perfect.
Talking about balls. We won't be any more specific than that. But we do have a Ross Bays to bring on the show, and I forgot now I have to do the dumb Skype dance in order to get everything lined back up. Let's go ahead and add him in. Ross! Adding him to the call. Alright, let's figure out how I can do this. Nope. Get Ross on the call. We're gonna get him on the call. We're doing this, and now I've only got nothing.
There he is.
Right,
there he is. Love that song.
Oh, here we go. And we're good. We got it. And I'm singing about this thing. And what the heck? Hold up. There. Oh no. Hold on. I can't get it to work. Can't get it to work. No.
What are you doing?
I don't know, but it's pissing me off. Damn it! I can't get
ruining everything.
I can't get the. No. Hold on.
What's going on?
Let me reset it now. Refresh. Okay.
I had to ruin the whole show.
Fixed. I got it. We're good. Moving the panes. We got a theme song for him. It sounds like this. Ross is, distinguished. Got his big old beard.
It's not going to be easy, but it will be worth it.
There's amazing things going on every day.
I may not be good, but I'm expensive.
It's Ross and I, and then a bunch of women. Don't let society tell you what to do. He has the power. How did that get on the end of there? That's really weird. It's
crazy.
That was unintended. Ross Bays, how you doing, man?
I'm doing well. It looks like we're having some technical issues here because as soon as you played my theme, you disappeared. Tony, can you still see the man?
I can. I can see the man.
Yeah, well, I don't know how to fix that, because if it's showing up to Tony, it should show up to you. What's showing up for you? Nothing? The big black screen?
Yeah, I just got a little spinning circle.
Oh, well, maybe it will eventually load up. That's really weird and stupid. I guess we'll just have to go faceless. At least I will for a little bit.
As long as I can hear you.
I'm still here, I promise. It looks like you have It looks like you have...
It's all pre-recorded.
Yeah. All of this. Every little...
right.
He's like rehearsed this down to a T. We worked on it. It looks like you have a crazy topic for us today. Not like a crazy one, but a really... I don't know. Just you've got a lot here, and I'm excited. Let's dive in. Let's not waste any more time like I've been... Oh, wait, last but not least, real quick, ladies and gentlemen, after Ross's segment... Well, first, Ross, do you have any idea what this guy's saying?
He's saying, get up.
Not quite. I'm going to play it one more time. I'm going to give you one more. Oh, wait, hold on. We have this, by the way. We haven't played that in a long time. So there's that. And then we have... Get up! What is that man yelling so loudly?
I thought it was get up. Get out, maybe?
Well, one more time. I'm not going to count that. Get up! It's hard to hear all the letters. I will admit that. But that's because of the way he says it. Nothing?
I got nothing. I thought I had it. I was so confident I had it.
Okay, well, all right. After Comified, I will let everybody know what it is. Remind me before we leave, before Ross gets off, that I will remind everybody what that guy is saying. That's how much time you have to figure this out, ladies and gentlemen.
Good.
All right, well, go ahead and start us off here. Tell us what you. I'm excited for this. Actually, it involves us, and I love involving topics.
All right. Well, I tell you, I follow Tony on Facebook, and he always posts the pictures of his little gigs, and he's playing shows, and girls are just throwing up their undies at the stage, you know. And I'm so proud of him, you know, because I remember back 8 months ago, or however it was, when he was talking about, I want to get out in public and I want to play. And now he's doing it, you know. He's signing boobies, and I mean, he's crushing it.
He really
James
is.
Franco, he's out there.
He really is, taking after his father.
And then also, like, you know, Jake, you've been doing your thing in terms of, you know, eating better, which we've talked about on a number of occasions. And you did the podcast, which you just dove into. So I have my own kind of things that I try to follow and I try to go after and chase and whatnot. And what I wanted to talk about today was actually kind of going more back towards the Karmified type of things, where we're kind of breaking things down and seeing the different layers and analyzing things. So today I wanted to talk about the catalyst.
Okay.
And definitively, a catalyst is an agent that provokes or speeds significant change or action. So that being said, let me ask you this, Tony. You started playing music publicly, which we just talked about. What was the big catalyst for that? What was the final straw that said, okay, you know what? I'm doing it. Here I go. What was it?
Just one of the guys that I play with was just like, we're playing here. And I was like, cool, let's do it. Well, he was like, I'm playing here by myself. It'd be fun to have a drummer.
Okay. I was
like, you got it.
Okay. Now, before that, when you started playing with this guy, or was it a group?
Well, I first started playing with my church.
Okay.
And then a bunch of people I didn't know started telling me how good I was at drums.
And you're like, you're right, I know.
I was like, I dabble.
Yeah.
I've played a couple times. I mean, the basic set.
So then, a guy like added me and messaged me on Facebook, and we talked about playing for a while, and then we both got super busy because we didn't really know each other. He just knew I played drums. I didn't know anything about him.
Right.
And then we actually played. We played like it was like an open mic thing at a buddy's, like, just kind of get together. Mm-hmm. And then after that, it just kind of like fell in because I don't know. We just started playing places, and then it became like the first few times we played. I was like, "Hey, I'm playing live now." Yeah. And then like it kept getting more and more often. And like Thursday, I played at a bar just right down the street near Bradley, and it was awesome. This was the first time I had played with this girl. This is the guitarist in my main group's sister, but it was just us two, and I played my cajon, and got free food, free drinks.
Nice.
Got
and
paid.
You crushed it. A little stage diving, crowd surfing.
It was dinner time, so we didn't get too wild.
All right. So decent. So, Jake, on your end, and this was almost, like you said earlier, so this was exactly 11 months ago, you started the podcast.
Correct.
And what was the big catalyst behind that?
Honestly, I don't know if I remember, because it's been a long time that I've been wanting to do a podcast, years. I mean, the first time I ever actually listened to a podcast was when I had my first job, and I found out I could listen to music there, and I was so into World of Warcraft at the time. I was like, you know what? Let's look for a World of Warcraft podcast. So I go into iTunes and I search it up. Lo and behold, there's this guy named Scott Johnson who does really awesome podcasts, and the one that was big at the time was called The Instance, and it was about Warcraft. So I listened to it, and I love it, and whatever. Over the years, I love his style of podcast so much that he comes out with more shows, and I love them. He comes out with the film one where they talk about movies they review on Netflix, kind of comically. That's usually bad films. Loved it. And then they came out with the morning show that they do every morning. He now subsists, by the way, solely on podcasts. He used to work at a job and then do podcasting in his off time. He has now enough supporters and people that sort of subscribe to his product and buys, he does artwork and buys all that kind of stuff that's his job, is podcasting. He probably does 10 to 15 shows a week and makes all of his money just from that and supports an entire family on that, which is incredible. Anyways, so he starts a morning show a couple years ago, and I love it, and I've always wanted to do something like that. I grew up listening to my mom have Chicago talk radio coming in on the AM stations, and just always loved that dynamic of getting on and just talking with another guy or another girl or another somebody about something, and just kind of talking about whether it was current events or other things, and just kind of trying to be entertaining in general. And finally, I don't know what started it, but I talked to Keith and I said, I want to do this. I want to jump in. I want to start this. What do you think? And it was after I'd already had kind of a failed attempt with the tech podcast. I actually did 2 or 3 weeks of a tech podcast before Stream the Machine ever came around. It kind of sucked. And I was like so nervous. I remember the first episode, the entire time, there were times I couldn't talk because I couldn't talk. Wow. And I would be like, I was like, hold on guys. And I'd have to and I'm like, oh, it's so weird. And now it's like, all right, here we are. It's a year. Who cares? I'm done on a camera. We're on a camera now,
That's crazy.
And, so that was it. I asked Keith, I was like, I want to do this right. He listened to the morning podcast and I listened to it, and I was like, I want to do something like that, but a little bit different. I want to take everything of theirs, but I want to do a morning show. And so we sat down, we said, how about 10:30 every Saturday morning? And we did it, and we just did it. We just started doing it. And obviously we had bumps in the beginning. I mean, you guys were there for that. I mean, shit, you guys, so Ross was there episode 1, but Tony was there as early as episode 2. So, I mean, Tony's been there since the conception, and he's helped shape, the show. Both of you helped shape the show more than anybody else, really. But so that, I don't know. That was the catalyst, I guess. I had to find people that were interested in doing it. And Tony and I actually didn't talk a whole lot. I think at that point we occasionally talked about music, but out of nowhere he had sent me a text and was like, "Hey, bro, dude, I listened to the show. It was actually pretty good." And I was like, "Damn." Someone actually likes the show. And so, and then of course Ross was on board. Cause originally he was like, oh, I can't really commit to anything, but sure, we can try a show. And then after the first show, Ross was like, yeah, F it, dude, I'm in. Let's do this. And so with the help of you guys, I think was really what got me going, is I had other people that were as excited about the show as I was. And so that was the major catalyst for me, was I had this idea I'd wanted to do for the longest time, but then finally finding other people that I could sort of connect and do it with. Okay. Kind of the same for Tony. I mean, finding other people to play music, and then finally it becomes a thing because you're all like, all right, we're doing this now. And it's not you just sitting in a basement playing your drums going, I hope one day that I can, because that's what I'm still doing with guitar. Is like, I hope one day I can play guitar for somebody. And, because everyone's from the South who plays guitar and sits in their basement hoping that they can one day play guitar with somebody. But yeah.
So kind of on both your accounts, your catalyst was other people getting involved and you working together kind of make it happen.
Yes.
So interestingly enough, what I think is fascinating about this is I talk about a catalyst every single week when I teach. And when I teach, like I teach guns and I teach shooting, but one of the most important classes that I teach every single week to these people from all walks of life and all demographics is I teach the mindset of survival. If you end up in a situation where your life's in danger or something happens, crazy, whatever. But I talk about the catalyst. And the catalyst is like I show this one video where it's a surveillance camera footage of this convenience store, what I assume to be in the middle of the night. And this dude is drunk, and he comes in. He tries assaulting this young lady behind the counter, and then he tries to take something from behind the counter. Well, this dude in a wheelchair rolls up and grabs a hold of this guy and tries to choke him out.
Dang!
Right? Legs don't work. He just throws himself out of the chair, rear naked choke, and just starts hanging on. And this dude goes nuts, and he goes ballistic. Well, as soon as the dude in the wheelchair comes up and starts handling business. Right. Everybody else in the store comes up, like one dude grabs the wet floor sign and starts hitting the guy. And
so all of a sudden it's a WWE match.
Oh yeah, it's fantastic. and they end up detaining the guy till the cops get there. But the whole point is I tell people it's instances like this where it takes one person to do something and then that kind of sparks the rest of the change to happen. But if sometimes that catalyst doesn't exist, nobody does a damn thing.
Yeah.
And that's rough. I tell you, one of the most disturbing videos that I ever saw was, once again, camera footage from, I want to say it was a pizza shop in New York City, about like maybe 1 or 2 in the morning. There's people in line. The camera's from behind the counter, and you can see the shop owner taking orders, and there's a line of people. This one woman comes in, passes the whole line, and then tries to order in front of the whole line of people. Well, there's this one guy in the middle of the line on his phone, and I guess he said something like out loud to whoever he was on the phone with, and she heard him and went back, got into his face. And he's like, get out, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Right. She walks out, comes back in with this gigantic dude. And this dude walks up to this guy, and you can see the guy's like, hey, I don't want any trouble, you're gigantic, whatever. And this big dude comes in and, no joke, like a freight train, hauls back and slams this guy. And he drops like a sack of bricks on the ground, almost out. And then all you see is this guy literally monkey stomping this dude like all up and down. And he's beating the hell out of him. Everybody else in the pizza shop just turns around like they don't see anything. This guy stomps this dude. And there's big dudes in there too. Nobody does anything. This guy walks back, picks up the other guy's phone, and walks out. Nobody does a damn thing.
Dang.
Right? So, catalyst versus no catalyst.
Right.
So I talk about this every week to people, and I talk about sometimes you have to be the catalyst for something if something crazy happens. One thing that I do with my wife is I tell her, if you ever find yourself in a situation where you're that scared that you think something is really wrong and you're scared for your life, I want you to yell run as fast as loud as possible. And she laughs, well, that's dumb. Why would I do that? I'm like, 1, you've told yourself exactly what to do. 2, you've told everybody else around you what to do. Right. That's a catalyst. And if that's the only thing that I can count on, because she doesn't have a gun, she doesn't have a knife, she's not going to jujitsu somebody from the wheelchair. So like that, it's little things like that I have to count on. Now going back to that, Jake, you just recently started doing this big lifestyle change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the stupidest things. Okay, I'll tell you what. It's better for me, I know, but I hate it to my core. I hate eating healthy. I'm not enjoying it. I was enjoying it for the first week. I was like, oh, damn, this is easy. And then week 2 and now into kind of like week 2.5 or whatever the hell it is, I'm like, God damn, I am hungry. I am hungry, and the yogurt ain't cutting it. Anyways,
so
yes.
what was the catalyst? What was the moment where you finally because I remember you sending me a message and said, dude, I need help. How can you help me? And what was the catalyst that led to that moment?
I don't know. I think it's the fact that there was a time where I stopped. I'm very I don't know if conceited is the word. I'm very prideful, at least on a few things. And one of them used to be the way that I looked. I really enjoyed the way I looked. No one else did, but I loved it. Painted my nails. I wore earrings. I wore black. I was like, man, I look tight. And I liked it. And I can't do that anymore because I can't fit into my clothes. I got a big fat stomach, and it was really irritating that I couldn't do the style that I liked. Sure, I could try and figure out another style. There's plenty of good-looking fat dudes out there. But that was not me. I was this guy, and I am no longer that dude. And I finally was like, I need to do something. I need to change something because I have no swagger, as it were. I used to, I don't know, just kind of, I used to have a self-confidence, I guess. And it's not that the self-confidence part doesn't really bother me too much because otherwise I just wouldn't go in public fat. I would just like stay forever. But, I don't know. I just feel like, part of what I enjoyed so much was being able to enjoy the style that I had. And now that I can't do that, so I want to go back to, being able to wear the clothes that I liked, and the fact that I've got rings that I can't put on my finger because I've got pork fingers, man. It's like, something needed to change. So I figured I would, at least try to make a small change. I'm very, it's very hard for me to work out without having a partner. Otherwise I would work out in a heartbeat. So I figured the easiest thing I would be able to do would be to try and at least change my diet. Because I can feel guilty about that. Not working out, I don't really feel guilty about because I could think of 1,000 reasons not to go work out. I've got 1,000 video games I could play instead of working out. Whereas eating healthy, at least I can, I can manage that a little bit and say, well, I should be eating these carrots instead of eating that burger. Which I've done very well with, by the way. I've not had a burger since I've started this.
There you go.
It's mostly chicken, fish, carrots, yogurt, granola, occasionally an apple, and now some bananas since they've started stocking those at work.
Awesome.
No really meats of any other kind, and it's very depressing.
But it won't always be that way. Like I said, you get that boost, you get into the swing of things, you can start breaking away a little bit, and be like, you know what, it's Saturday, I'm having a burger.
Yeah.
And it's no big deal. You won't even notice it. And then you get back in the swing, and the next Saturday you have a pizza or candy bars, whatever.
Right.
No worries. So on that health
supply
kick,
of
Tony, you just signed up for what, a half marathon?
Half
marathon. And now, is this your first race?
Yeah.
What sparked that?
Peer pressure at work.
Insanity.
Everyone's like, we're all doing it. You got to do it. I was like, I don't run. And they're like, neither do we.
So 13
like,
miles.
Yep. So we'll see how that goes.
When is the race scheduled for?
April 25th. So 2 months.
Plenty of time.
Exactly. That's
easy day.
That's on my dad's birthday, so you better not let him down.
Yeah.
I won't.
He will be.
What's your dad's name? Leroy?
Yeah.
Jenkins.
Oh, that's funny.
So why I bring that up is because, like, when we talk about catalysts, we talk about, like, on a personal level, things that have been catalysts in our lives and everything. But, like, let's take the broader spectrum of what catalysts have done. Like, in my notes, I talk about, like, major cultural catalysts that have sparked wicked, massive change internationally or culturally across, for instance, America. Civil rights movement, huge one, everybody's familiar with. Now, everybody has heard of Rosa Parks. Mm-hmm. But here's a couple things that I didn't know about Rosa Parks. I always just assumed that she got on the bus, sat down when she wasn't supposed to, and then said, nope, I ain't going anywhere. But that's not what happened. Did you know this?
I figured that was it, but no, I didn't know that something else happened.
This is what actually happened. So there's the white section of the bus, which is most of the seats, and then in the back you have the black section, right? And she was there in the front row of the black section. And there's a sign right there that says whites only in front of her. So the white section fills up, and there's a couple white people standing on the bus. The driver gets up, who apparently was the same driver that left her out in the rain at a bus stop like months before, right?
Jerk.
This guy gets up and says, and then takes the whites only sign and moves it behind Rosa, or behind the 2 rows behind her, and says, all right, you 4 need to get up and stand up so the whites can sit down. So the other 3 people, including men, stand up and go and give the seats up. Rose is like, nope, I'm not going anywhere. This is my damn seat. And then that's what started the whole thing, right?
Dang.
Now, we always look at that as, it's Rosa Parks. She's the woman that wouldn't, move her seat on the bus. But I didn't also know that, what was this? So that was 1955. There was a woman earlier in the year that did the same thing. 9 years earlier, there was another woman that did the exact same thing. And then 4 years before that, there was a man that did the same thing. So we're talking 15 years of people that have been taking these steps until finally Rosa was one of the biggest ones, because 1955 was where all these things were happening. Now where there were more catalysts across the country that were making their steps, and then change was happening.
That's crazy.
And now, Rosa Parks and her story is one that like kids learn in school, and they know about it because it's kind of a stand of defiance, and it's doing the right thing, even though back at the time everybody was like, this is BS and whatever. This is one I didn't know about. Earlier in 1955, back in August, so this was probably 5 months before the Rosa Parks incident, there was the murder of a 14-year-old boy named Emmett Hill. He was a 14-year-old African-American boy that whistled at a white cashier, okay? The cashier went home, told her husband. Her husband got his brother. They went and found the boy, kidnapped him, and then for days tortured him and eventually killed him, okay? Dang. Now, that in and of itself is disturbing. But here's what makes it worse. A month later, an all-white jury acquitted the 2 of them. And the 2 of them later confessed to the murder in a magazine article. But they couldn't be tried again because it was, you know what I mean? It's double jeopardy. So, those on one side of Rosa Parks standing for what's right, and the other side, you have the complete other end of the spectrum where people start realizing, well, these guys were acquitted and then they confessed to it. Well, what's right about this? The boy was 14. He whistled at somebody. Right. And ends up dying for it. So those 2 things in their own different ways are catalysts which sparked massive change in our country, which unfortunately I have to say, like, we're not there yet. Yeah. There's still a lot of issues that need to be addressed, racially and culturally. But the point is, though, without catalysts like that, change is not going to happen. Like I've actually said to people, and I've heard people say, you can't, you can't change somebody that's not ready to change. So this is where the catalysts come in. Like you, for instance, you said, okay, well, I got to do something. I'm not proud of myself, and I got no swagger anymore. I have to do something. In that moment, you're ready to change, And I was the same way with my stuff. Like there came a point where I said, I can't stand myself anymore. I can't walk out in public without my head held high. I have to do something. So the catalyst comes in. Whether it's weight on the scale, it's a doctor's visit that's eye-opening, or in your terms, like self-perception or some type of realization, like I have to do something with myself. I have to take the next step. Sometimes people just are sitting on the couch watching TV, and they're thinking like, really? Is this it? Is this what my life is now? I'm just sitting in front of the TV like, I got to do something. They turn off the TV, they get up and go outside, and they do something, and then that sparks a whole new world of what their life becomes. Hence the catalyst. Sometimes that realization is the catalyst where they say, man, this is miserable. My existence is more important than this. So I guess the whole point of today is as heavy as it is and as broad as it is, you kind of have to stop for a second, realize what your catalysts are, like what's happening in your life and where you're being led, and embrace them. Tony, you have people saying like, hey, you're going to run with us. and if you feel strongly enough to say, okay, you got me, I'm going to go with you, you got to embrace that, and you got to just go for it. And it's going to suck. It's going to hurt.
Oh, I know.
But you do it because it will open up a whole new world for you, and it will change the way that you feel about yourself. It'll change the way that you do things and you handle things. And I know it all too well.
Like the last race I ran was in 7th grade. I did the mile.
Wow.
And I thought I was going to die from that.
This one's will be 13 times as worse, at least.
Like when I go work out, I run afterwards. And I remember like the first week that I'd started running, they have a track upstairs, and it's like 10 laps is a mile. And then so I just ran 3 miles, and I was like, I feel pretty good. Like, slowly work my way up. And I thought about it. I was like, still have 101 more laps to go. Like, I just did 30 laps and felt good. Like,
there's so many more.
It's so far away.
But you know what, though? Let me tell you something. I actually heard you, what was it, last week or the week before? You were talking about that's what it was. It was Wednesday's show. You were talking about how you were training for this and you were going to do this, and you said, and I quote this, I wish I had the clip, I'm probably not going to win, but okay, you're not going to win. Okay, well, I know that. Just go out there and put one foot in front of the other and then reach the finish line. That's the most important. If you have to stop and walk, stop and walk. Stop, sit down, have a donut, have a box of donuts. But do whatever it takes to get to the end, and that's what you have to do. Period.
Wait, he froze up. Is he there?
He's really happy.
I was going to say, he was like infinitely smiling at us. I was like, damn.
I got to take a screenshot of that.
Oh, man. Let's see if he comes back. Let's see if the internet will resolve itself here.
He's mad because I said he wouldn't win.
He's like, I'm done. You know what? I don't need this. Speaking of net neutrality, just briefly, since our internet's crapping out here, did you see that post from Verizon about they were talking about how, like, our antiquated notion of classifying internet as utility, and so they posted the post. They made the post on their website in Morse code.
What?
Because they were like, since we're in the 30s, and did it all in Morse code because they're big fat babies because they can't charge us more money for all their bullshit anymore. Get out of here, Verizon. I don't need you, except I do right now because we're on Verizon's ISP. But figuratively, get out of here, Verizon. I hate you. All right, well, let's call Tony back because he's essential to this show. Calling Tony on the phone, and then we say this.
Get up!
Shut up?
No, not quite.
Oh.
I had a couple of guesses for get off, but that was not it. He might be done. I wonder if his internet crapped out.
No, Verizon's on to him.
I know, they really are. We're in trouble now. Well, I suppose we might as well close out the show. Do you want to stick with me for it? It's only a couple minutes. Sure, let's do this. Well, goodbye, Tony, and I...
all part of my plan.
I apologize for that. All right, let's go ahead and shrink this down. Oops, I cut myself out. That's not what I wanted. We'll cut you out, and then we'll bring you over here. Come on, do it this way. Got him there and me over here. I've been doing that at work a lot lately, and I don't really know why. I just like singing what I'm doing, and I don't know.
Because it's wonderful.
I mean, it's awful. I'm not actually trying or anything, so I'm singing really terribly.
You're happy.
Anyways, all right. Well, that's it for the end of the show. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I will give you the time it takes me to say these last things to tell us what that guy is saying. Now, Tony knew it, and unfortunately, he's gone, so now he can't. He can't reveal it. But here we go. So one more time, and then I'm going to count out the show.
Get up!
Okay, you have the last... Oh, wait, hold on. I think... Wait, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay, good. Sorry. I thought your audio cut out for a second, and Tony's cuts out occasionally, so... Anyways, we're good. Think about it, guys. Here we go. If you want to find out ways to help out the show... share our posts. Go on Facebook, see our posts. Actually, my mother did a great job today of sharing the posts, both the Mixlr and the Twitch one. Anytime, whether it's when we post the final show up on the website, if you know people aren't, no one you think is going to tune in live, or when I post the video show, share all that crap. It's very helpful. It was really the only way we can get the word out about the site. If you want to figure out how you can sponsor a segment, go over to our website, streamthemachine.com. We haven't had a sponsor segment in years, but you can figure out how to do it there. If you would like to support us, you can support us on our Patreon page at patreon.com/streamthemachine. There, you don't even have to donate any money. It will ask you to, but you don't even have to do that. You can just become a supporter. Anything helps. It helps us keep the show quality up, helps us get new equipment and afford all that kind of good stuff. We appreciate anything that our listeners can offer. Email in your music. Today I went ahead and had to just grab a couple of songs because I didn't have anything sent in, which we still got some good songs today, but I love playing local or music that everybody else sort of knows from their time or from where they're at. When we had Kevin on the show, he had music from when he went to college. Any of that kind of stuff is always great and a great addition to the show. You can follow me on Twitter. I'm very rare on there, but at Redefined Jack. You can follow Tony at Tony DePalma51. Ross is at The Real Ross Bays or at Real Ross Bays. I can never remember.
Real Ross Bays.
Just at Real Ross Bays. Alrighty, well, that is about it for the show. You can find the show Twitter at STM Podcast. Figure out when we go live. Again, the website is not at Stream the Machine. Is www.streamthemachine.com. I want to thank Tony for being an awesome host. Okay, he's trying to call in here. Let's see if this works. We'll pull him in here last minute. Tony DePalma, are you there?
I think so.
Okay, we don't have any video from you.
How about now?
Wait for it.
Let's see. Hey! We're back. Alrighty.
Yeah.
So, hold on. I'll let you announce to everybody what that man is saying here in a moment. I want to thank Tony for being an awesome co-host, for coming in last minute when you had to. Thank Ross for being an awesome addition to the show, always bringing great stuff to the show. Both of you making this show possible. Oh, wait. Do we have one last... what is this? Oh, nope. I thought we had another submission, and we don't. So it looks like we stumped everyone today. We will be back next week at 10:30 a.m. Eastern, 9:30 a.m. Central Time for episode 47. We are 1 month away from 50th episode / 1 year anniversary. Everyone better be tuning into that episode. If you have ideas for what you think could make it a better show, tell me. Tell us. Let us know what we can do to provide you with the best experience possible for our 50th episode. All right, before I go on to play this song, I'm going to play it, and I want Tony to tell me what this man is saying. Skittles! What is he saying, Tony?
Skittles!
That is 100% correct.
Skittles.
No, get out of here! You're not yelling Skittles.
He's at
Skittles.
He's at a I don't know if it was a basketball game or somewhere, but he's like a barker at a stadium. And he's walking up the aisle with his big tray hanging out from his neck, carrying the candy and shit. And he says, as he's coming by, he goes, Skittles! And yells it. And he's yelling Skittles. No one had any idea. But see, you can hear it now, can't you? Skittles! Kind of?
I mean, barely. But here's why I was confused. I thought that was the pastor yelling at the end of his thing. I'm like, why is he yelling Skittles?
No, but we do have this from the pastor.
Give me a little love.
Give me a little love.
Give me a little love.
That pastor stuff was great. That was complete gold. Setting up a kingdom in the video booth. That was awesome stuff. Alrighty, well, we have a different kind of music to play us out today. This is Brazilian. This is at least written in Brazilian and sang in Brazilian. This is by an artist called Duda Nunes, which is probably pronounced somewhat differently. Oh my god. So apparently my sister had seen the Vine and still didn't know what it was. And she just now realizes what it was. Song is called Saudades. Is off the album Voce Pensa Sub, which I don't know what that means. And I don't know if Brazilian has its own language or if it's some form of weird Spanish. Who knows? But it is something by Duda Nunes. Is Saudades playing us out. What's a little Brazilian... little Brazilian acoustic music here. We will see you guys next week. Thank you, Ross. Thank you, Tony, for being on the show. Have a good weekend, everybody. Oh, wait. Let me play this first.
Get out of that refrigerator right now!
Ao seu lado, sim. fazer eu sentir amor, 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 meu amor. Eu penso em você onde está agora. Vem, me beije, sente o amor, me namora, amor, 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 meu amor. Quero estar no teu caminho, dividir o mesmo ninho e deitar sobre o teu corpo e podermos nos amar, amor, meu amor, amor, meu amor.
Pro boner.
When I felt them, they were perfect.
Good old Tom Brady. Providing us with clip gold. All right, gentlemen. Thank you for the awesome show. Oh, God.
Always a good time.
Ah.
Y'all have fun in DC Universe.
Yes. Good fun.
Keep us safe.
Yeah.
I'm going to have fun in Green Universe first, because I'm going to go back to bed.
Yeah, I was up pretty late last night, actually. I had gotten done trying Xenoverse, and then was like, damn it, I want to play something. So I went over to DC and tried drinking coffee at like 3 a.m, and it didn't help. I just got more tired, so I just went to bed.
Yeah, I went to bed at like 5:30.
Damn. God. You are committed, sir. That is why you're the co-host of this show, is because you're committed to it. And I appreciate that. All right. Well, I will see you guys later. Tony, I'm sure I will see you later, and we will play some DC Universe.
Oh, yeah. All right, fellas.
Sounds good. Talk to you guys later. See ya. Goodbye. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for listening to the show. I appreciate all of your support and everything that you do for us and for me and for everybody. It's all good stuff. So thank you very much. I am going to probably go eat a yogurt and some eggs, some garlic salt. What else? Maybe some celery. I'm trying to do like the laziest method of weight loss, right? Because I don't want to be active. I want to sit here, play a game, and lose weight. So that's what I'm trying to do. My BMI, whatever, something is super high. It's like 2,200, which means as long as I eat less than 2,200 calories a day, then I'm set. And I've been aiming for less than like 1,500, 1,600. Which, if you do like a yogurt and then some kind of chicken sandwich or something or other, and then something small like maybe 500, 600 calories, you're looking at about 1,200 right then. That last part was the dinner. And then, yeah. So I mean, I've been doing okay. I don't know how long it'll take. Probably maybe a pound or two a week. Hopefully. That would be awesome, right? But I'm a lot heavier than I used to be, so it will take some time. Plenty of games to beat in that amount of time. All right. Good night. Good night. Good weekend. So I meant to say. You want to see my cool shirt here, by the way? I got a brand new shirt. So this, other side. This is the Black Ranger, okay? And this is a mask from an anime called Bleach. And it is because the guy who plays the Black Ranger, this thing here, my thing is mirrored, it's messing me up. It's the same voice as this guy, who is, I don't know if you can see it, but he's on my back. Oh. Yeah, not that you care. His name's Johnny Young Bosch. He's cool. But I adore him, and he's great, so I got his t-shirt. Anyways, that's it, ladies and gentlemen.